the agenda together. This is a good time for a quick bio break if anyone needs. Okay. Thanks, Willie, for confirming that it's the 10th. That's helpful. All right. Okay, so we can start flow. So I see a few people got up, which is totally cool for the bio break. But just in the honor of time, I think we will get started with our check-ins, and then just don't pass the mic to someone that clearly isn't at their desk just yet. All right, so we'll do our typical flow, sharing any updates. If you've got like a brief update of what went on the last week. This can apply to Giveth, where it can just be, you know, something you'd like to share from your personal life so we can connect with you more deeply. Also sharing your intentions for this call today and any distractions going on in your environment so that you can name it and become more present with us. I will take notes, and then I'm going to put my microphone on mute. So who would like to get started?
I can start. Let's see. As far as updates, had a good call with Gabby today. He's on board and starting to review the MTA contracts, and I also onboarded another developer, Fabio, who has been working with the Common Simulator. So some of you know him, and started trying to get him to work with Gabby to support this. The Give token creation. Also, let's see, other updates. Willie made an awesome notes doc in Notion to kind of like the initial spec, and I modified that a little bit today while on the call with Gabby. And basically, Forrest, I would love to turn it into some GitHub issues with you and some Hackstash. I think that's all my updates. As far as intentions, just here to hang out and enjoy everyone's presence. And distractions, Sunday, I'm in a bathtub eating random fruit. What else would I be doing? I'll pass it to Kai.
Yeah, like mentioned before, I already forgot what I did. It's yeah, I worked on some things like getting pull requests through, keeping master updated, preparing like for our thing, researching stuff. Yeah, I do a lot of bridge building in general. Like, it's crazy. I think I have almost everyone now. I'm only missing the Ethereum Foundation, I guess, at this point, but it's starting to get crazy. One thing is, like, I wanted to gauge sentiment. Like, I want to deepen our relationship with Metagame, and they said we need to be a guild in order to have a bridge channel. Even though they said before, yeah, sure, let's do it. Like, it starts to get more official. So I'll just a quick temperature check if I should like go full on and try to get us there as a guild. And I'll happily be the envoy, because I'm involved in metagame anyway. So it's yeah, that's good. That's good. Thumbs up is great. Or let's do it the other way. Is everyone against this? Because I think support might be there.
Can you give like a 2-sentence overview of what it would mean for us to be a guild?
Well, it's basically it's a friendly. It can be a DAO or a project that's friendly to metagame and of use for the players. The use of Giveth I see in the donation application, that people who are in metagame, they might need to run a project, and they can do that with Giveth. And we have a lot in common when it comes to community. We use the same tools. And further on, we use SourceCred. And so the benefit I see is I don't know if we will really get to this, but Metagame is very interested in this like standardized community infrastructure work for DAOs. And this was always something I was very interested shaping out with Giveth. We did, but documentation was always hard. And so I really like this collaboration on that. And I hope that it wasn't too long or confusing. Okay, Willie, you would have said yes anyway. Like, and for anyone who's not part of the meta game, check it out. It's fun. There will be MetaFest soon, in 1 month, I guess. And I promise I will work on Giveth all the time and not the meta game. Although it's so much fun. And I give it to Willie.
Thanks, Guy. Love the update. What's up, everybody? Updates for this past week. Got the pleasure of working with Griff and Gabby and Edu and Forrest on some of the token stuff. Appreciate the kind words on the spec talk, but really it's a lot of the thoughts straight from Griff's head. Just doing my best to capture them in a succinct doc. But yeah, really great progress on the token stuff past few weeks. So awesome that we got some devs who are hard at work at taking these ideas and bringing them to life. Also was working on the presentation for ETH Denver. Want to make sure that we have some good slides and a good story to tell. So that's coming together. Made some good progress on that this past week, and we'll continue working on that today. Intention for the call is to sync up, talk about these great topics, and talk about. It sounds like we're launching this week, at least soft launching. So it's a big week. So excited to help plan that out. And then no distractions. I'm feeling a little tired today. It's been one of those long weeks with a lot of screen time, but happy to be here. And I'll pass it to James.
Thanks, Willie. Yeah, it's been a good week. Lots of progress on the development side. So it really does begin to feel like we're more stable. Like there's very little or no like major functionality to be built now. It's just a question of testing and bug fixing. So yeah, really excited. Hoping to go live for the presentation on Wednesday at ETH Denver. Would be great. And no distractions, and excited to hear from you all what's going on. And I pass to Danny.
Hello, happy Sunday, everyone. I'll mostly get to my updates in the sections below in the agenda because I've been updating them in there. But lots and lots of coaching, community management, sharing information back and forth, and digging into some research on how to get our content and landing page and things really clean and clear for the launch, and making it very donor centric, which is in our languaging, but this doesn't seem to translate, so working on that quite a bit. My intentions for the call are to share on the things I know, find out if there's any other priorities I should be paying attention to for soft launch right now. Trying to do my best to go through GitHub and make that my central point of authority. So I've been hacking in there quite a bit this week as well. And my only distractions are that it's another day in paradise, surrounded by amazing people who want to come in and visit me and give me hugs. I'll pass it to Mateo.
Hey guys, happy Sunday to everyone. And just as James said, this week was really great working with him in the development. We are really getting to a nice version of the app, embracing more stability for the release. My intention is to sync up with everyone. Happy to listen that the token design is going really well. Yeah, and looking forward to get it working and in a even better shape for Wednesday for Windy's talk. No distractions, and happy to see you all. I'll pass it to Amin.
Hello, everyone. My update is that last week I worked on the US1 frontend to refactor it and make it more optimized, and we lost a front developer. We hired another one, I'm paving the way for him to make the code more readable, more clean, so to facilitate the onboarding. I helped the Swiss membership application on the backend for keeping the balance of the user after they restart the balance after some period, and people should pay again, should donate again some membership fee to get the token. I did that, and yeah, and also I managed the devs. Okay, there is one dev. Not distracted, and my intention is to catch up on the agenda and see you guys. Yeah, just that. I pass it to Ashley.
Hi everyone. Updates. I'm excited for the launch. I'm excited to start spreading the word about the launch and reach out to some projects and some partners and see how we can all work together. Other than that, just excited to test. I feel like we're getting to a place where everything's really stable and that's good.
I don't know if others are
we can just call
experiencing
this
this,
up
but
and-
Ashley, you sound really choppy. I can't really hear what you're saying.
Isn't this better?
It's like,
Oh.
yeah, pixelated. Can you just say one?
Is that
like,
better?
say hi?
Can you hear
Yeah,
me
that's
now?
much better. Yes.
Okay. I was just saying that I'm excited for the launch. I feel like things are feeling stable. Just need to do some more testing. I'm excited to start reaching out to some projects and connect with some partners for the marketing and get some of the word out. And I don't really have a whole lot more of updates. And just my intention is just to sync up and see everybody and see where we're at. And I'm not really distracted. So I will pass it to Lauren.
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing good. So updates. Yeah, last week I just did a little bit of testing, and we'll do some more today. We talked about the dev call, and I started working on a blog post for marketing about how Giveth is a great user experience. And my intentions for the call are, I guess, like just to get like a few small pieces of clarity, and just to sync up with everybody and see where we're at. Yeah, and distractions. I'm not distracted. I'm like really great, super present, super clear today. And I'll pass it to Tom.
Hello, good morning. This week sat in on marketing, took some notes for there. Feel like we came up with a good roadmap to start tackling some of these blog posts and different things. I'm excited to do some testing later today. I'm a little distracted because I'm trying to be in two places at once. I'm actually going to drop this call, I believe, and jump on a metagame call to do some planning for that Metafest. So I apologize, but I think I'm going to leave very shortly. I pass it to August.
Hey guys, I don't have too much to check in. I'm just working on that, the campaign, the social impact campaign. So I'll get that. I'll get a rough draft finished up later today, and then I want to get your guys' feedback on that. Other than that, I think we're good. I'm just joining in, so sorry I'm a little late. Yeah, I'll review the notes from the dev call a little bit later, but I'm all good to go.
And
actually,
who would you like to pass the? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to see if I could get another or whoever is reviewing that, if somebody wants to maybe help me like lead that campaign, because I want to do it in a like I want to release it on our social platforms And so I'm wondering if anybody wants to potentially work together in that. Who kind of manages the social? Is that pretty much we all kind of take turns?
Yeah, we have a couple of people helping to support, but we also are working with Magenta of the Bloom Network, and she can help schedule posts and actually like distribute them on channels, which it sounds like that's what you're looking for support on. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then once, like I said, once I finish the draft, I want to talk to you guys about if you want to do a prize for it, and what that might look like and how we would kind of vote on or distribute that.
Okay,
And
perfect.
I would be willing to like make a donation to help with the campaign, if like for some funds, for the prizes and such.
Awesome. Yeah, when we get down to the marketing section, let's definitely bring this up and we can talk about, especially since we've got the devs on the call, like what would actually be possible. Okay, awesome. And I think maybe, am I the only one that hasn't gone yet? I think so. Okay, so I am feeling great. Updates, yeah, I feel we made some great marketing progress last week. I'm feeling that we're more in alignment on our dates and deadlines and aligning with where the dev team is at. And I'm happy to share those updates below. I also am getting comfortable with GitHub and getting everything organized in the planning board there. We started our Give token sprint, and so it just feels nice to see forward momentum and progress with everything and things becoming more organized. My intention, as always, is to facilitate an efficient call and get to all sections. And I don't have any distractions. Awesome. Okay. So heading down into our agenda, we've got the first topic is on our Giveth Reputation DAO. Just a reminder to please vote on number 8 to pay the Bloom marketing invoice from the DAF. So there's links where you can vote on that below, as well as a reference link to the invoice in Giveth Google Drive.
I think we've got enough support on it already from what I saw this morning, but by all means, please make your vote known or your voice if you have an objection or think that, I know, Willie, you proposed that we could pay that out of another place too.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about that on the governance call. I was just thinking, I remember you had mentioned that we have to maintain a minimum balance in the DAF. I don't know if because ETH has been going up that maybe we have some more cushion there, but
yeah,
we do have.
Yeah, we're good. We were good. We had enough to pay this. Thanks, Griff, for adding some more ETH into it. But yeah, going forward, we want to incorporate into governance the right way to decide how to pay these things.
Cool. Well, we do have, let's talk about it at the governance call tomorrow, because we do have some decent reserves in the DAO. And I was thinking about that because Griff has been so generous to cover so many of our expenses out of his own pocket. Seriously, thank you, Griff. But we do have some of these funds now, and if we're, when we basically, the way I'm thinking about it is we've been using those funds to kind of give us 12 months of runway, but it could very well make sense that with the launch of the token coming up, that we may it may make sense to spend more than 1/12 of our funds each month to accelerate some things to make sure we get to that token launch. So we can talk about that. Maybe that's a good topic for the governance call tomorrow.
I guess the other item to put on here then is also that we want to discuss and approve the new Bloom marketing proposal and get that signed. And that's probably governance call as well.
Awesome. So yeah, let's make sure that that gets in the agenda for tomorrow and we can get those things finalized. Anything else, Danny, that you want to mention on this section?
Not in this call. Again, there's more to talk about in the call tomorrow about this, about getting the monthly payouts cleaner and structured on chain.
Awesome. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, and then moving down to this fundraising section with Danny, who has an exciting announcement. Would you like to take this, Danny, or do you prefer that I go through it?
No, it's just a nice little update. Sorry, motorcycle. And we're back. So we had submitted an application to the grant round that came from that IDEO. That was one of the first ones that I submitted. They were giving out $100,000 to top ideas that they wanted to help. We did not make the cut for that funding round. However, they really like us and where we're at, and they would like Giveth to be listed on their new website when they launch in a few weeks as one of the resources for better giving. So that has my mind just shifted a little bit back to moving through that soft launch and making sure that we feel like we have really great information for everybody on our website, because it's a nice link to that corporate social responsibility funding access that we now have the ability to work with as a nonprofit. So yay, I guess, that their new website will launch. I've already submitted key information and let them know that we may have some alternate graphics to use in the future. I didn't think anything that we have right now is like really, really awesome. So I'd like to get that better.
Amazing. That's super exciting. Thank you. And yeah, this is something we discussed on our marketing call and contributed to sort of the dates we've been thinking about, which we'll touch on more below. So then some of the other bullets I'm seeing in this fundraising section are about our partnership program. We are contacting our partners this week to invite media collaboration, donations, and matching. And then here is a copy and paste of something that Marco shared in the idea chat around Panvala Caucus and Panvala Coalition. So it looks like the coalitions are divisions within the Panvala League where communities work together to grow. They grow by adding more communities like them to the league and helping each other. They get a 10% donation matching bonus, and 20% of each community's funding goes to the coalition multi-sig to spend on their growth goals. And there's currently 2 coalitions being formed, and we want to encourage as many communities to join a coalition as possible. So something that is suggested by Marco around this is to form a coalition called the Philanthropy Coalition or something along those lines, and have Giveth, Bloom Network, Common Stack as the first members.
Yeah, I put this on here because I know Marco has the connections and got this information and brought it to us, but he's probably not the person who could head it up. I know I've chatted with Ashley briefly about this there, but thought it would be a good idea to bring it up here on the community call to find out if this is something anyone on the call is very excited about and would want to dive into and understand and potentially lead up or be on the team.
I'm excited about it, and yes, I want to be on the team.
Amazing. Thank you for that. So what would you say the next steps are for that, Danny? Should Ashley and Marco sync up and, get more clear on how we might go about this? Ashley, do you have the information that you need to form a coalition for Giveth?
I think Ashley can follow up directly with Marco and get that information and let us know if she needs anything else.
That sounds good to me.
Well, it should be pretty easy. I imagine that Marco will just intro you to Neuron, and we'll create the coalition. So it sounds like we'll do a Giveth coalition as opposed to, and we want to just put the common stack underneath it?
The suggestion was to create like a philanthropy tech coalition, and not Giveth specific, but partnering Giveth and Common Stack and Bloom. Potentially Magento is interested in that as well.
Awesome. Okay. Sweet. Sounds like a good plan. I lead the common stack, Panvala, whatever, blah blah blah, and I'm very involved with Pan. So if you want to run anything by me or have a chat about it sometime, I'm also available.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want to give a little kudos to Ashley here for just a moment about this too. You know, the group that we got onboarded and donating in our last Gitcoin round, Ashley really led the charge in making sure that everybody knew that Stake DAO token came out, and the team, by staying on top and building that relationship, she helped everybody have a little bit of nice regenerativity from that. So good job.
Aw, thanks, Danny.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. It was pretty cool.
Ashley kicking booty in all four directions. All right. So scrolling down to the DAF, SDG impact updates. Okay, so just an update on the Mateo monthly payments. They've been coming from the DAF. Our balance dropped to 320. And then just some updates here. Griff donated 6 ETH. We have a tax-deductible donation campaign as a part of our marketing plan. And Danny will have a draft blog post ready for review tomorrow. We want to make sure, just since this one is kind of financially detailed, I think we talked about having like Griff or Willie, probably Willie, review this as the reviewer. And question, still using fiat strategic partner packages for launch seed funding? And then I see it looks like maybe this bullet needed some more information. Nonprofit status came through.
Yeah, sorry, I went into GitHub to find the issue and found other issues and got distracted. But there was an announcement Willie made, maybe it's already been addressed, that we were able to, by having this nonprofit status, we're able to get access to some tools. So I wanted to celebrate that too.
What's the still using fiat strategic partner packages?
Oh, that was something that we were looking at as we announce and share the information about SDG impact. So we've got the meme around tax deductible giving without taxes or governments. But as an addendum to that, if people actually are still using fiat and want those tax deductions, that's where SDG impact makes it possible for you to give in all the ways.
Awesome. So second and third bullet point where you're thinking like a blog post or marketing campaign pushing people towards the SDG Impact Fund, donating on their website.
It's not even that it's pushing them towards it. It's sharing the different ways you can give with a really clear, simple outline that describes the different ways you can give.
Awesome. Yeah, happy to review. And then the free stuff we got, it's like a few bucks per month. It was but it was some free shared hosting, which is pretty cool. And the reason we were able to get it was thanks to our nonprofit status through the SDG Impact Fund. So always good to see that working and the benefits we can get from that.
And I guess while we're on the donation front, I forgot to, well, it hasn't been sent yet. It should be sent today. The Panvala conviction voting stuff from the Common Stack Community Fund came in, and we got $1,400, a little over than $1,400 worth of camp. So that will just be donated directly into the Giveth 2 campaign. So thank you guys for voting for Giveth 2.
Thank you, Griff.
Griff, is all of that available somewhere? Did I miss a tweet? Was it announced?
We're working on newsletter campaign that will be announced, but no, it hasn't been announced yet. I'm going to send it tonight, and then we'll announce it after it's sent instead of before.
Anything else around the DAF or SDG impact? Okay. So then moving down to our Give token economy. Yeah, exciting. We've really made a lot of progress so far. We are in the middle of our first sprint. We kicked off just a few days ago, and the devs, Gabby and Edu, have been hacking away with also a lot of support from Griff and Willie. You can see here a list of all the progress. We've deployed a test token on XDAI. There's a top token contract, a vesting contract, an airdrop contract, liquidity mining on HoneySwap, and then yeah, I think there's been like at least 2 hack sessions at this point. Some next steps: we have our sprint check-in this Wednesday to see what progress Edu and Gabby have made on their deliverables. Our sprint completion is planned for next Monday, the 15th, and then we'll be immediately diving into our regular recurrence of sprints. So the kickoff for the second sprint will be on Wednesday, the 17th. Since we've made so much progress, the launch is definitely going to be sooner than originally expected, and as we get our current, focus sort of wrapped and completed, we'll begin to prioritize front-end design. Some priority issues: Willie is continuing to work hard on finalizing the list of airdrop recipients and amounts, and also Griff did a lot of work this past week on project staking. There's a link to the spec for that below. And yeah, we're kind of feeling like good enough for now, safe enough to try. And a lot of it is replicating the MTA, MStable contracts. I'm curious, Griff and Willie, if there's anything else that you feel called to share around the Give token while we're on this section.
I definitely want to mention that we're partnering with DAppNode here, and it's very likely that we will use so much of the same tools for our token launch. And DAppNode is likely to launch first, I'm guessing. They're targeting the end of the month. So that's really awesome. And the strategy here would be to whoever launches first. I think it's going to be I think that DAppNode will beat us. But whoever launches first, the other group kind of wait maybe 3 weeks just to see how that launch goes and how we can improve the messaging around it and implementation, because so much is going to be the same. Yeah, it would just be great to, when we get a little bit further, probably not this week, probably not even next week, but 2 weeks from now, starting to also just like be good partners with DAppNode, and they're doing so much work for us. Helping them out too, maybe doing some of the user testing for them, maybe, retweeting any DAppNode announcements that are along the lines of their token launch and this sort of thing. I think we'll eventually want to go there. So I think that's all I need to dive into. What about you, Willie? Did you have anything to add?
Only thing that's coming to my mind is important to share is, and we can talk about this more at the governance call tomorrow. But yeah, we're making good progress on getting a list of previous donors together. Thank you, Lauren, for helping out with that this past week. but it's looking like there's not that many donors. I kind of thought that there'd be more past donors to Giveth. So an idea that came up is, and for everyone to think about for the governance call tomorrow, is whether we want to consider airdropping to every donor on Gitcoin, or at least like every donor in this last round of Gitcoin, for instance. Like we mentioned earlier, StakeDAO and some other projects have been doing that. I think BadgerDAO did that as well. And yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for Giveth, because if you're a donor to a project on Gitcoin, then there's a good chance you'd like to donate to projects on Giveth, especially once we have the donation matching and quadratic funding stuff implemented. So something to consider, and we can talk about it more at the governance call tomorrow.
Sounds
I
great.
had a quick question. I have a question regarding the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I muted myself again. Sorry. Okay, I'll go ahead then. Basically, that's really exciting. I'm super excited to see this moving forward so much. I feel a bit like I would love to like keep an eye on what's happening. Like, is there meeting notes, or like where is this? Where are the repos for this? Like, I mean, I don't want to slow the guys down, right? If they're spinning this out super quickly, but like for me, like if this is going to be Giveth code, then it should be on our organization on GitHub, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying like move it there or something, but like it would be great to just get a bit more oversight on like what's happening at the very least, I would say.
Most of this work is happening on the DAppNode side. So they're doing it all for, I mean, they're doing it all for themselves. And then I'm just like, please let us in on it. And so they're like, okay. So it's I could definitely connect you to with Edu and see where they're working on it. But right now there is no, well, Gabby is finishing the hackathon project that he's been working on for a couple weeks today. So we will start forking the MTA contracts and start building our own custom stuff that we need just for Giveth, probably next week. And then it'll start in Giveth repos.
That sounds great, Chad. I mean, I'm just thinking like, I mean, if there is a conversation going on somewhere, like maybe it's just a question of bridging a Discord channel into our Discord or something, or I go and have a look at what's going on also from time to time or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if maybe just like a simple connection with the guys would be a good start. We can figure it out.
I think that's the best way to go, because they want to control the media campaign a little bit. They haven't told people they're going to make a DAppNode token yet. So, you know, it's kind of hard for them to do it in public chats.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do have. I totally hear what you're saying, James, and yeah, a lot of the conversations have just been happening over video chat, over these extended video chat hack sessions. We do have this Give token doc that maybe you can open real quick for us. In Notion, I've been trying to capture all the notes that we have been taking, which props to Forrest for taking. She has been taking really amazing notes during these calls, and those are linked from the Give token doc. It's not, I'll admit, it's not the most organized. You can open it up for us. We can show us a quick sneak peek of this Give token doc.
Yeah, the spec, the meat emoji.
Meat emoji, and the one that's linked to that, the blue dot. Yeah, here's the latest spec for the token, and it's got, as you can see, it's linked to like Griff's thoughts in meme form, the model he put together, the glossary of all the different terms, and then notes from that meeting up top are linked. So there's a lot of good information in here. I think we've done a decent job of capturing a lot of the concepts and plans somewhere in here, somewhere in Notion.
Cool.
But I will.
I think that's exactly what I was thinking.
Cool.
I'll have a look.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments around the Give token? Okay, boom. So now we can just go through to our DApp updates, issues and requests. Would love just overview of the latest with Giveth 1.
Yeah, in US1 we have fixed an issue about people was losing their name. It was a bug in how we use a smart contract, and their usernames was clear because it's complicated. Nothing. I don't want to say what details. We fixed that, and also clear the data again. Fix the previous data, and we will recover the usernames. We have fixed some issues about uploading image to IPFS, and it makes some issues on the preview too. So it's fixed. Yeah. We have optimized the front end. The size of the code is reduced more for a few Ks and yeah, it's more optimized. Not more optimized. It's not optimized at all. This one, it was written very fast to just become an MVP. We should work more on optimizing. And yeah, that's the most of the update we have. Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that update and great work. And then Giveth 2. So I just put a question here. Are we on track for quite soft launch that we'd anticipated by this Wednesday, February 10th, or Thursday, February 11th for Willie's ETH presentation? I've heard a few times on this call and the dev call that is still looking like we're on track. And then my next question is, this came up a few times in marketing as our team is writing content that's clearly outlining user experience and the features of our newest product. And I joined the dev call late, so I might not have gotten all of the context, but I heard a lot of discussion around fiat integration and maybe using something called Mooney. And my question for the devs is, are we 100% going to have fiat integration ready for the soft launch midweek or the official public launch that I assume will be about 2 weeks after?
I would say it's not something we would commit to for Wednesday. It's something that we're actively looking into, and we can update you in 1 or 2 days on that, I would say. But I don't think we have like a straight answer unless, Matteo, you've reached some kind of stronger opinion on this.
No, I don't really want to say yes, it's too easy, because just today I discovered Mooney. So I want to check on that before saying a specific date. But I like it. I hope it can be really easy, but for sure for this Wednesday, I don't believe it.
We've been focusing on just getting like sort of the minimum viable functionality, I guess, in, and like we would soon like be able to start looking at things nice to have, like fiat integrations, etc. So I mean, just general, like the one-line update for Giveth 2 is that all of the main functionality is built. We invite you to find bugs. We would love that, and we need a lot of testing now. And we hope within the next 2 days before Wednesday, like to find bugs, fix them, or find no bugs, and do a soft launch for Wednesday. So we're aiming for a late Tuesday.
And a little bit of clarification on the fiat integration. Mooney is specifically for the ramp off and not the ramp on of the fiat money there. So that would mean only that the project owners can get cash out of the crypto donations if they decide to. Because yeah, it's another mess that we haven't figured out yet. So people can donate with fiat.
Okay, that's really helpful to know. Thank you. Okay, and then I'm curious, those folks we've got on the call on our marketing team that are writing content, I feel now is a great time to ask the devs if there's any clarifying questions you have around the topics you are supporting, where you need anything clarified or that you can more thoroughly understand to write on your topic. Okay, and if not, if you need more time, you can ping them, but we've got a few folks on the call right now. Okay, I'm not hearing any, so we'll keep moving on. Just a reminder for the devs to let Griff know once the latest version has been updated so he can add projects in. And Danny, just curious if you wanted to discuss at all, picking up from hearing a crazy animal noise on the roof. Sorry. Danny, if you wanted to bring up the landing page UX design discussion, just curious if you and Marco and Willie have discussed this together yet and what the general consensus is, if this is something that's being applied for the soft launch or this is more focused on for the public launch, if at all.
Well, I would have said before that it was focused on the public launch. There are a couple of issues I'm putting some updates into today. I really like the super simple suggestion that Willie said, changing it from the current landing of sustainable fundraising for social impact to welcome to the future of giving. As a super simple change. Definitely want to still chat with Marco, and I have some notes that I'll just put into the GitHub issues today and get that updated. Oh, the reason why I feel a little more pressure to make it more donor-centric right away is because it's going to be on that Better Giving website when it launches.
Cool. So made the PR just this morning. So Kai updated the homepage so we can really easily edit the content there. So I tested that out and made a PR this morning to update with that super simple messaging, and we can continue updating from there. And then, yeah, Marco took your feedback, Danny, and put together, I think you think you may have seen it, but he commented on the GitHub issue, really nice UI UX for the issue that you mentioned where users can accidentally log into a different account via Taurus and then wonder where their projects are or get confused there. He has a nice UX proposed for that. Not implemented yet, but at least proposed to add it to the list of fast follows for the soft launch.
Yeah, great. I have found some really good examples of it where when I went to log in another place, it said, hey, your email address is already registered to a different account. Would you like to magically link them? I'm like, yes, I love magic.
Oh, that is really nice. Cool. I'm curious, I think it's a good time to talk about just what this soft launch will look like. I think that question came up on the dev call earlier, like, are we going to do a big tweet from Giveth? And so I'm curious what you guys are thinking in those marketing calls.
Okay, we can skip down to marketing, but I would like to address some of these other things.
Oh yeah, if you already have a section for it, let's stick to the point. Cool.
Any other updates on Giveth 2? Okay, so then DevOps.
Wait, I had a quick question just to clarify. So Wednesday with the soft release, what is being announced or released then? Is that the Giveth proposal app, or sorry, I missed it earlier.
I'll jump in here just on one thought that I have regarding that this is the soft launch to get projects listed. So that's why we created a new channel in Discord for project onboarding. So at soft launch, that's where we really want to reach out to all of the people that we would like to have their projects listed on Giveth to, have them start listing their projects and giving us feedback from that route. I'd say that's the top intention in my mind.
Okay, awesome. Are we, like, if they do a video, if some of them hear about the campaign and do a video, is it possible to put that video on their page or on their profile for their nonprofit or their organization?
Not yet, but that's a great feature request, and that's like the exact type of feature request we hope to get during this soft launch period.
Okay, sweet.
And I was looking at the Giveth YouTube the other day, and we haven't had a new video for a year, but we have 560 subscribers. So that'd be interesting just to put that in the awareness thoughts.
Oh man, I just found my first intro video that I put up on the Wall of Fame when I first started with Giveth, and I miss that. I miss having our new people create videos to say who they are.
Should we bring that back or do a little small, like, kind of feature on the, I don't know, can we do like an introduction thing on it? I guess people do that on Discord.
I'll tell you, Edu, that was Edu who runs Dapnode now. That was his first foray into anything crypto, was that Wall of Fame. And now, full circle, he's helping us launch a token.
With 8 minutes left on the call, I really want to keep us on track so we can get through everything here. We do have a section for marketing. Just curious if there's any big DevOps updates. The one thing I just want to reiterate is, are we going to be voting in Aragon on the official name of Giveth 1 versus Giveth 2? I've listed here the different names we've discussed for Giveth 1, and then I'm just aware of us calling Giveth 2 Giveth. But if we're going to be launching in the next few weeks, this feels important for us to tie up.
There are updates. So what I just wanted to mention one thing. Some people said we should organize the Discord differently. I'm all game. Just tell me what you would like to do, and also please don't do it yourself. I deleted that project onboarding room, and I made it again because our Discord has a permission system, right? And you can, if you really need to open a room and I'm unreachable or something, you should clone a room that's already there, so it inherits the same settings. So that's one thing. And please open a discussion with me, or I just need to know what the changes are. It's very easy to configure Discord, but yeah, I need to know what's bugging people about it. And I'll look at, like, maybe we could close some older rooms as a low-hanging fruit. But I think you did that. It looks a bit cleaner here, huh? I don't see Corona anymore.
I just made a new category for archived, and I moved Corona MVP down to that category.
It cleaned it up quite a lot, I must say. It looks great now. I'm happy with our Discord as far as the channels go, because we don't have too many. That's great. And the other DevOps news are more, I spent time investigating and reading stuff. The real action is gonna follow in the next week, because we opened some new things now, how to deploy the application. Also, I have to say, I don't know about this category, because DevOps and Ops are very different things. And with DevOps, I would usually describe the technical things that are required for us to, run our stuff automatically. For example, it's a rather big category, and we might not need it here, or should, I don't know, if we want to talk about community communication or something, or that might be better suited. I think this is, I want to know, maybe think about this category in the meeting, like what should be the intended outcome.
Yeah, we actually created a issue in GitHub about this agenda, this community meeting agenda going forward after launch. One thing that comes up to me in here is email. I feel like there's a couple people on our Costa Rica crew that it would be really helpful for them to have Giveth emails. I don't know if everyone has put in their requests to you for that yet.
Almost everyone. I just gave Tommy one. Let me check. but definitely everyone who wants one, get back to me. You'll have one. That's very easy. And I did want to say one thing regarding the vote. If we want to do voting, I wouldn't vote for this on chain. But there are really cool Discord poll bots we should use, where you give basically the options, and then people react with special voting emojis. If that's cool, I can just do it. And of course, the obvious benefit here is that it's very easy, and those are coded in a way that you can only vote once for one thing, and you can change it, but you can only vote for one thing.
And also, related to DevOps, I'm still so excited about getting some nonprofit credit from Azure. It's discussed long time, but maybe, I don't know, it's good to raise it again. I don't know whether we have any updates on that or not, because there's some opportunity to use those services and upgrade our DevOps to the modern cloud-based services. Microsoft Azure has some non-profit credit. We are still, I don't know what's happened for that. Will you find something? Get the great job and finding a free share resources from Green Cloud, something like that. But unfortunately, it's not much useful. It's so much. Its resources filled by other hosts, by other services. So maybe we will not use that service. Yeah, yes, I don't know. Maybe Willie or Danny has follow-up such and find a way to get the credit from Microsoft.
I'm happy to help out with that. Again, just reach out to Microsoft and see if we can get that same credit from Microsoft. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because I like to move to something like Stacker-based hosting services, and hosting the database in the same network, not another machine. We have lots of delay in fetching the information. It's not sense when you use a regular service fetching a milestone, but in the CSV matter, it generates thousands of requests, and they should be resolved, and makes generating a CSV so slow.
Now that is what I call sustainable development.
Yeah.
It's really no joke. This stuff takes a lot of power.
I wasn't laughing.
Thank you for that. I've got some notes captured here. Sounds like Willie's got it to do. And also, Kai, what we were talking about earlier with the voting. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, sounds great to go forward with the Discord poll if you want to set that up. If anyone has an issue with that, maybe give a little thumbs down right now or ping in the chat. Okay, now moving on, just want to share about marketing. Quick update. There's links here to all of our call notes as well as the Giveth planning board. This link is filtered by the Giveth 2 launch marketing campaign epic. So you can easily see what's in our pipeline. We went through in our last marketing call issue by issue and made comments and assigned roles. Just some progress right here. So we're working on a hype video, as Willie had requested, to promote functionality and user experience of our new product. And the intention is that this will be embedded at the top of our Medium blog posts and circulated around Twitter and also we'll be requesting that our partners share around the launch. We're also consolidating and building our target outreach lists. We're in progress on writing several strategic blogs that the team has collectively decided upon the topics of that will support building buzz pre-launch, announcing at launch, and continuing momentum after launch. We're queuing up this content to have it ready and stored and available so that then likely Magenta from the Bloom Network can publish at our strategically determined times across platforms. We also developed a review process. So our copywriters will complete their first draft by an agreed upon date, which you can see in all of our meeting notes and GitHub issues really clearly. We'll have at least one non-technical reviewer for every article who is required to review within 48 hours of the copywriter submitting their draft for approval. The non-technical reviewers include Ashley, Lauren, Tommy, Danny, and myself. If anyone else is willing, capable, and committed for this role, please post in the marketing channel on Discord and we can get you added. Or, you can mention it. Yeah, I think Discord's the best because we're out of time here and I just want to breeze through. I honor that it is 12, so if anyone needs to drop, you can go, but I'm going to breeze through the rest of this agenda so that we can all be aligned on the same page. Depending on the topic or content of the article, so for example, like this SDG Impact Fund article that Danny's working on with outlining details around financial pieces, there's going to be at least one subject matter expert reviewer required. So in the context of this article, it'll be Willie or Griff, but it could be someone from the dev team, depending on the topic. So yeah, basically our goal is to have 2 reviewers, one non-technical reviewer, one subject matter expert reviewer, and if it's not a technical article, probably have 2 non-technical reviewers. And that'll be completed within 48 hours as suggestions in a Google Doc. The next steps are that I'm going to be sending out an SEO and copywriting best practices doc to the team for reference when drafting content. I'm also going to ask someone who's more familiar with the blockchain crypto world than I am to review my SEO and copywriting best practices doc to make sure that also it is aligned with the industry that we're writing about. We're updating and revising the content calendar so that we can manage our marketing content pipeline of platforms, topics, owners, reviewers, deadlines, and publication dates in a Google spreadsheet. Obviously, we'll also have the GitHub issues, but this will just be an easier way for us to clearly look at all the topics that we've got going and accessible by the whole team. I mentioned in here what Griff said about YouTube channel. And then our next steps also are aligning on the dates that will be ready for the Giveth 2 launch. So just from a marketing perspective, we're working as hard and diligently as we can for this midweek soft launch that the dev team has proposed. But realistically, being, a lot of the team has like today, tomorrow, following day as when they're getting their first draft of content done, and then it needs to go through that 48-hour review process. So I think it's unlikely that we'll have all of our content ready for this soft launch. And it's what our realistic plan is to have our content ready for February 21st before the Gates Foundation announcement, and before that's also a date that the Costa Rican team needs to slow down and put some time and attention to their Diamante Bridge collective commitments. So yeah, just wanted to give that update. The marketing, we will be more in support of being able to officially post publicly by February 21st. Any questions? That was a lot. That was a mouthful. Any questions around marketing from the team?
I wanted to bring up during our meeting, you had talked about doing a press release. I think you said on Wired, and that was something that we wanted to maybe discuss as a group, whether we wanted to do that or not.
Yeah, and possibly that will be something for the governance meeting. And yeah, so the question was, do we want to publish a press release announcing the Giveth 2 launch? Press releases are not cheap. They can run from like $500 to $2,000 in my experience, and it automatically, at whatever the date and time that you say and pay to submit it, it's basically blasting whatever you've written for your press release across many, like hundreds, if not thousands of news publications. And you can also get kind of nitty gritty about what the distribution is. So you could target, specific industries of media publications. So yeah, just the question for the team to discuss is, do we have the funding and do we want to allocate any money for something like this? And if so, I imagine we'll need to vote on it.
What would we expect to happen? Like what's the potential upside of this?
A potential what?
What is the potential upside? Like we would expect that it could be picked up by news outlets or somehow get us a lot of attention.
It's guaranteed. So when you publish a press release, now again, I've never done something like this for the crypto blockchain world, so maybe we need to look into, is this beneficial for this industry? But when I was working at PR firms, basically I worked for Electronic Arts. We launched a video game, we published a press release, and boom, automatically every single media all the mainstream media publications, as well as whatever specific gaming industry publications, it automatically gets published because you're paying to publish it on the wire and they're all picking it up. So in any online publication that's a part of the wire, which you can see which ones are included and filter some out if you want, it automatically gets published, and it says at the top press release. It's not a unique content piece that's written by a journalist. It's a press release, but it does get picked up, and so you're getting a lot of eyeballs and impressions when you publish something like this. And it's common to do it when you have a big announcement or some sort of new product launch.
My opinion is that it's probably not the exact, I don't want to say the best time, but I would say this is not something I would rule out. But in my opinion, it's not something we would really want to do right now. I think we would want to have a very strong narrative in place, something that really gets people's attention. And I would say our initial sort of target audience is probably more, people who know us and sort of maybe the crypto universe. In the very short term, more medium term, that would change, right? But at this point, we're not even sure if we have fiat onboarding in place or whatever. And I would rather ensure we don't have any teething problems with the new DApp, etc. Make sure we have all our workflows super solid and in place. Make sure we're happy. Make sure we have things like videos for projects in place, and incorporate all the feedback we will get after launch. And then once we have a very strong chassis and we know where we want to go, then pour on the extra horsepower, right? That's just my opinion on it. I take it this is expensive, most likely, and perhaps potentially not going to hit our target audience that we have right now. That's my opinion.
I agree. I think it's a good thing to consider for the big launch, but yeah, I second that. This initial launch, the soft launch, we're really focused on just getting some good projects on there, not really announcing, not really marketing towards donors quite yet. But when we are ready to attract donors and stuff, we could definitely consider for that big official launch.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great feed forward. Any other comments? Okay. So then the only other thing we've got left on this agenda is about the community call strategy itself. And it's funny because I think Kai kind of started to touch on this, but how do we want to strategically use our time on these community calls? I noticed that we have each team kind of providing updates, and Danny brought up on our marketing call, perhaps we can engage with our community in a more unique and authentic way, especially since we do have live streams and recordings available to the public, and this info is all open access already. Maybe we can use this time instead on a like somehow engaging with our community. So maybe using this time to schedule and promote in advance AMAs, Q&As, webinars on hot topics, meet the team, announcements, demos, things like that. And also in this case, then the entire Giveth team wouldn't necessarily need to join all the calls, which would free us up to work on other things, but rather just the person that's facilitating the AMA, or the team that's in the meet the team on that particular call, and maybe someone, for sure myself, or maybe someone from the marketing team that can help with like live tweeting or promoting or something would be great. So yeah, just wanted to open this up for a quick discussion. What are y'all's thoughts? Do you have other ideas, or do you prefer to keep the community calls with the kind of update agenda that we've been going through?
I just want to throw out, I'm really loving what we've evolved into with the token engineering commons. I don't know, Mateo goes to those calls, and we spend like the first 20 minutes giving praise to each other, and it's funny because it feels like a waste of time, but the vibes that it creates are just outrageous. They're just so good. And then also it ends up being updates, And so I want to just praise to Willie for the amazing work that he did on those notes, right? Like that had a huge impact on my life, and it really made it easy for me to, blah, 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 right? And then it kind of works as updates, and it just feels really good. I don't know how you feel about it, Mateo. It does take a lot of time, though. Mateo, would you veto that? Would you say it's not worth it?
Sorry, I was away from the mute button. My bad. Yeah, I believe that it's really worth it, and just as you explained it, it gives a really nice vibe, and alongside the updates are like just moving really fast, and it's not something that should take a lot of time. I think we are in here are fewer than in the commons. Usually, at least the Thursdays are really a lot of people. So I believe that we can do that. I also believe that it's really easy to make the praise bot work for this as well, no? I think Kai has an instance kind of working, no?
We're moving to just the praise bot to Discord. I think it's almost up. So that will be probably the move. Even though it works for Telegram now. Anyway.
Yeah.
And so I would just suggest getting rid of intentions, distractions, and replacing it with praise.
I like that.
I just want to say I love everything coming out of the Token Engineering Commons, and it feels like it's the evolution of a lot of the systems we had at Giveth into a really beautiful and efficient thing, and I'd love to be able to leverage anything you guys are learning there into Giveth.
Agreed, especially if we think that the community might grow after we do this launch. If token engineering's common is working well for a larger group and it's still moving efficiently, I think we should definitely learn as much as we can. And then how many people are typically on those calls?
20, 25.
Cool.
And it takes about 20 minutes to get through the initial praise. And, the thing is, a lot of those people also, it's like, we lose some time on like, are you there? Like, does your mic work? That kind of stuff.
And Griff, I can follow up with Tamara, but
is the rest of the agenda mirroring similarly to what we're doing here on our community calls, going through the sections?
I would say
Providing
the big difference is that we kind of force these other. So the Token Engineering Commons is similar to this project in that it has a lot of small little groups working on important things. So like there's different leaders of each group, and they're responsible for putting together their agenda. But it's very much a outward, like it's an update focused agenda. There is never time to debate anything, right? So that happens inside individual working group calls, and then it's really a sync, and it's really every working group gets to say what happened in their working group that week, and it's used really as like a review session to show off work. And there's never a moment where there's a question of like, oh, should we do this or should we do that? No, it's all like, it's a one-way direction sync. It's not, there's no data gathering. There used to be when we were smaller, but now it's just updates. So I think it serves a different purpose, and I think it makes sense when we grow bigger and we can't really debate things here. There's other calls for debating things, and then this is just the update call.
Yeah, that is definitely something we were talking about, Forrest and I previously, and looking at how to give these sections that are in the agenda an owner, and that person is sort of the lead of gathering that information through the working group through the week to be able to lead this section of the agenda. And then having maybe a section where we do ask a guest speaker, a project, or someone to come in and give a presentation for a section of the agenda.
Yeah, actually, that's what we do at the end of every call. We have somebody from the token engineering community present for 5 minutes their project. So it's very, very similar. I'll post our last call in Giveth, and you guys can check it out and see the format.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, amazing. Yeah, we've got some really great feed forward here that I'd love to incorporate for next week's agenda. I'll do some follow-ups one-on-one, and if anyone else has ideas or suggestions, you can feel free to post, I guess, in the scheduling channel would be a good one. Okay. Well, with that, thank you guys so much. I know we are 18 minutes over. I appreciate your time and energy and all of your ideas and collaborations. Praise to you all. I hope that you have a very happy Sunday, or if it's another day because you're across the world, happy whatever day it is. Lots of love and light, and thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Good day.
Have a great Sunday.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers,
Bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait.
Streaming is on.